great to see a great new range of initiatives that have been announced today. For us in the development industry, that gives us confidence to invest and provides the certainty that's needed to tackle this issue. I'll start by saying, if you're looking for the silver bullet here, I don't have that answer. But what I will talk through today is just a range of things how we're tackling the issue. I think in my career I've never seen so many initiatives underway across a whole facet of focus areas. I've got the benefit in my role at Stockland, to see across 6 different states, and I can say Victoria, is certainly making some big leaps forward. There is a whole range of housing solutions and people that we're catering for, from key workers to young families to older families, and all the way through to our retirees. Having been through affordable housing or social and affordable housing negotiations with a number of councils over the years, having the definitions is a really great first step. That helps provide clarity about what we're actually seeking to solve for, as well as then the certainty that brings. For us to be able to go and invest significant amounts of money that is potentially all of your super funds and other investors' money, we need to have that confidence and certainty in what we're investing in. I think one of the key things here is this can't be done without having a partnership mindset and approaching for both sides, even prior to these announcements, but and post, has been having an element of good faith and a partnership mindset. As the Minister pointed out, the agreements are voluntary. That can be interpreted differently, as I'm sure everyone's experienced in their careers. But having that partnership mindset will help work through what is the best way to deliver the actual intention of the objectives and working together. Currently, from a price point perspective, we're talking about affordability to key demographics. Currently there's no set price points. Having that clarity would help bring a further level of certainty, and that's something that I think over time we'll get some precedents that build up and that give us that certainty to provide greater clarity. Having flexibility because things change or needs change from community to community is really important, and again, having that partnership mindset, we can have those open conversations to work through what are the challenges facing that community, not only just from an LGA perspective, but also in partnership with the community housing providers who are really tapped into those local markets. And then lastly, commending the government on releasing more land to help address the affordable housing challenge. The model agreements are also a good step forward, providing certainty. Something as simple as using a 173, which is well known to most councils. Having that as a simple mechanism by which to incorporate and record the intention of the agreement is a good thing, and it provides that flexibility for councils to deal with changing needs. We've got Orion in Braybrook, which we're working with Melbourne Council to deliver 5% affordable housing. This is under construction now, and we'll go through we're going through a tender process with the community housing providers, trying to match who will deliver the best long-term outcome here. The metrics, I won't go into all the detail, but they vary by council and what we've been going through. So, getting this certainty from the model agreements and the framework and the definitions really helps. Here we're targeting an 80% of the median house price. So it's a discounted arrangement. What I would say, and this applies to all of the communities that we're developing, where we are providing affordable housing or social housing, you can't tell which home is which. It's tenure blind, and we think that's a really important thing to keep in mind from a design perspective, which I'll touch a little bit more on later. But being able to have people integrate in the community, and not feel like they're living in the cheap home or the home that's had no thought put into it, is not something that we're about. And then we've got Waterley in Roval, which we purchased off Knox City Council, and along with a range of commitments. So we actually signed up to 52 individual project requirements, which was quite a big undertaking for us. We wouldn't have actually done that if we didn't have that confidence at the other side, on being Knox City Council, and the flexible and a partnership mindset that they demonstrated throughout the process and have continued to demonstrate since we purchased that property. We're now selling and under construction. Again, we'll have 5% affordable housing, totally different mechanism again. We're looking at contributing effectively the land, and then we're working on a tender at the moment, so we'll hopefully have an announcement later this month on who the preferred community housing provider will be there, working with Knox Council through a rigorous selection process. Again, we agreed the criteria up front, which gave us the certainty to invest. And it gives the broader community the certainty about what we're actually delivering to. Now just focusing on a range of different initiatives that we're looking at and working on right now. Just for a bit of context, between Melbourne and Sydney, you've still got, in a similar community setting, and a similar distance to the city, you've got a 50% differential on like-for-like land. Really, we've seen, what the benefit of supply can do, or increased demand, and if you're looking at it in reverse, the impact that has on price points. We've seen Melbourne has ratcheted up quite quickly. I don't know if there's a pointer on here, but from over the last 24 months, prices have grown quite rapidly off the back of a higher level of supply. And whilst we've got good PSP supply, the work that the Victorian government's doing on unblocking the delivery side of the pie or the puzzle is helping to make a dent in that. But we have had that rapid increase in price growth due to supply constraints. And Sydney has a different set of challenges, but you can see the price points there. Sydney is moderating right now. It has come off. It's been retracting since June last year, but the supply side of things in Sydney has been even more troublesome. But that demonstrates that we still need to continue to focus on supply, both at the front end with precinct structure plans, but also at the back end in terms of unlocking the delivery side of things. We're also looking at how do we continue to improve the product and bring down that entry price, and this is from a market perspective. The image I've got up on the screen here is from our Aura community on the Sunshine Coast, but we've got these sorts of initiatives going around all of our states that we operate in, where we're looking at how do we provide a quality product that's meets the needs of our customers at an affordable entry price. And effectively, if you think about how much industry's changed in the last 5 to 10 years to grow that sector or develop that sector, there's been some big steps forward. There's still some further work to do, but it's positive to see that some of the announcements have been made around greater funding opportunities, some of the changes at a federal level around MITs and other taxation discussions that are ongoing. So I know that sector that will take off. It's just a matter of timing and how fast. From a planning perspective, and the concept of the missing middle, it's probably stronger in some of the other states, but providing a range of housing types across our communities is really important. That helps with providing the right amount of choice, but it helps to utilise the infrastructure that's around existing infrastructure that's in each of the communities. So, delivering a range of products will help to do that, and it also again responds to that research that the Grattan Institute published some time ago, which resonates with what we're seeing in the market, and it helps, I think, from a community perspective, deliver things at a real neighbourhood scale that people can relate to.